Hey everyone, I'm really glad you're here. I am thrilled to share with you about some new and exciting updates that have happened in the digital asset space. I promise that today will not be about overwhelming you with rules. It's simply about giving you clarity, confidence, and helping you understand how to operate the right way in a space that is finally coming into its own. Because let's be honest, 5 years ago, the blockchain space felt like the Wild West. Now, the script has flipped. Governments, regulators, and institutions all over the world are stepping in, not to shut things down, but to create structure, clarity, and legitimacy. And that's a good thing. I'm Kat Bonar, your compliance professional for this training today. This training is powered by Catherine Bonar Inc., bringing real-world blockchain compliance experience directly to you. This training is not legal advice. It is compliance training based on best practices as well as regulatory guidance and frameworks provided by global regulators. I've had the incredible opportunity to work in compliance within the blockchain and digital asset space for years, watching regulations evolve from uncertainty to clarity, and that's what makes this moment so exciting. Today, innovation and compliance are finally working together, creating a space where people can build, grow, and operate the right way. My role is simple: help you clearly understand what you can and cannot do, so you can confidently share and support blockchain integrated products and services while staying compliant. We are now seeing blockchain protocols used for, but not limited to, real-world assets, payments, and financial infrastructure, and identity and transparency systems. And globally, the United States is providing more defined interpretations. Europe is advancing privacy and digital asset frameworks, and Dubai is becoming one of the most forward-thinking regions for digital asset innovation. This is what we've been waiting for. But here's the key: with more opportunity comes more responsibility in this space. Let's simplify compliance into something practical. Compliance is not about slowing you down. It's about protecting you, the company, and the blockchain community. And most importantly, compliance protects the future of this industry. The United States has recently provided more clarity around digital assets, and while we won't go line by line, there are 4 key themes you need to understand. Keep in mind that countries around the world already have these things a part of their regulatory framework for digital assets. These 4 themes can generally apply on a global scale everywhere. Number 1, what are you actually offering? Is it a product, a service, or access to technology? You must clearly describe what someone is participating in. And let me make this really simple. I have an example, especially in the context of blockchain and node software. A node is a product. It is a license or piece of software that is operated by an individual, hosted by that individual, and used to help support and maintain the infrastructure of a decentralized blockchain. So when someone participates by operating a node, they are not investing in something that is being managed by someone else. They are operating a product, they are participating in a network, and they are contributing to the infrastructure of that blockchain. And that distinction really matters, especially in the United States, because clarity in how you describe participation is what keeps you compliant. We always want to clearly communicate what the product is, what the individual is responsible for, and how they are participating in the ecosystem. No confusion, no assumptions, just clear, accurate descriptions. Number 2, is there an expectation of profit? This is a big one. If your messaging sounds like you'll make money if you participate, or you will have guaranteed returns, I can promise you that. And if you jump in now, you will see that this is a wonderful passive income opportunity. That's where you will get into trouble. Remember that when you are participating in a blockchain community, no one has a crystal ball. You cannot and should never make financial promises or make predictions about ROI. All right, let's keep going because this next part really matters. Number 3, who is responsible for the success? In a decentralized environment, it's not done by one company, driven by an executive team, and it's not accomplished by one individual person. It's a community-driven ecosystem. Now, this is where I want to add a little clarity because this gets misunderstood a lot. A company can absolutely have products, services, or processes and integrate those onto a decentralized blockchain. That's part of innovation. That's part of growth. A centralized entity can bring tools, technology, and opportunities into an ecosystem. But this is the differentiator. The company does not control the blockchain. The company does not guarantee the outcomes. And the company is not responsible for the success of the blockchain network. That responsibility belongs to the community. Because in a truly decentralized environment, the community participates, the community contributes, and the community drives the momentum, sustainability, and the success. This typically occurs often through governance, through the node operators, and through active participation and on-chain voting. So yes, a company can support the ecosystem, but it cannot be the ecosystem. That distinction is critical, and that means something very important. There can be no centralized promises. There is also no single entity or specific group of people responsible for the blockchain's outcomes. A decentralized blockchain community is not a centralized company led by a group of executives. So if you ever find yourself saying, or even implying, that the blockchain community can just sit back and let a company build the network and make it successful, you need to pause, because that is not how decentralization works. Instead, we communicate clearly and correctly. This is a community-driven network where participants, such as node operators, can contribute to the ecosystem and may be rewarded from the blockchain for their contributions. The true success of a blockchain network depends on a collective participation from the community. That language matters on a global compliance scale. Last but not least, the fourth and final theme we need to understand, and this is where most people get into trouble, unfortunately. How is the blockchain integrated product, service, or innovation being marketed? Because listen, this is important. Even if the technology is compliant, marketing can make it non-compliant. Let me say that again. Even if everything behind the scenes is done correctly, what you say and how you say it can create risk. Words matter. So instead of saying things like earn money, make income, get paid, get your ROI, we shift the language. We say things like participate, engage, earn rewards for participation, contribute. Because that's what's actually happening. And I want to pause here and add something that a lot of people overlook. Watch your emojis on social media. Yes, your emojis matter. If you're using things like money bags or money smileys or rocket ships, those can imply financial gain, profit, or this is going to the moon. And regulators don't just look at your words, they look at the overall impression you're creating. So even if you don't say you're going to make money, but you've got money bags, dollar signs, and rocket ships all over your post, it's saying it for you. So here's the rule. If your emoji implies profit, income, or financial gain, don't use it. Keep it clean, keep it neutral, keep it compliant. Now that we have covered the 4 key compliance themes, let's talk about utility. Contributors and blockchain participants can earn rewards for participating in a blockchain network. This is where the word utility comes into play. Because as participants engage and contribute in the ecosystem, they may earn digital rewards. And it's important to understand what that actually is. Participants are earning a utility-based digital reward, or in other words, a utility token. That means it is designed to be used within the ecosystem. It may not have value outside of that ecosystem, and there is no guarantee that it ever will. And that's okay, because the purpose of a utility reward is not speculation, it's participation. It's meant to be used to engage, to interact, to support the network. Now, here's where responsibility comes back to the community and/or the node operators. Utility doesn't just exist on its own. It has to be created, it has to be used, and it has to be adopted. And that happens through the community. The community drives how the reward is used, where it can be applied, and how valuable it becomes within the ecosystem. Now, can a company help with that? Yes, absolutely. A centralized company can build products, and that company can integrate those products and services onto the blockchain. And a company can encourage adoption and bring innovative opportunities into the ecosystem. But a company cannot force utility, and it can never guarantee the value of the digital reward earned. Now, could there be potential for broader adoption in the future by the mainstream? Absolutely. As ecosystems grow, and if a digital reward or token were to become available on a decentralized or centralized exchange, that could open the door for wider global participation. But, and this is really important, that kind of growth is never guaranteed, and it does not and can never come from a centralized company making that happen. This needs to come directly from the blockchain community, from real usage, from real participation, and from people choosing to engage and build within the ecosystem. Sustainability comes from real usage. It comes from people choosing to participate, choosing to engage, and choosing to use what's been created. So when we talk about earning digital rewards or utility tokens, we're not talking about something to hold and wait on. We're talking about something to use, something to interact with, something that gains strength through community adoption. And that brings us right back to where we started, and I will say it again. This is a community-driven ecosystem. And utility, just like success, is driven and sustained by the community. Now let's zoom out for a second and talk about the global reality. Because blockchain compliance isn't just a United States conversation. This is global. There are some basic blockchain rules we all need to follow globally. Don't promise money or profits. This isn't an investment, it's not run by a small group, and it's not something where everyone's money is tied together. These 4 items are crucial to remember if you are selling blockchain integrated products anywhere in the world. Next, in the United States, we also have things also like OFAC, the Office of Foreign Asset Control. That means you cannot do business and sell products with sanctioned individuals or restricted regions around the world. And yes, that matters even in a digital environment. You still have to know who you're working with to ensure they are not bad actors. In Europe, we have GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation. That's all about data privacy. Protecting user information, being transparent about how data is used, and making sure people understand what they're opting into. And then you have places like Dubai, which are actually leading the way in digital asset innovation. They've created clear frameworks and clear expectations. Nothing comes without responsibility to ensure you are operating with integrity and compliance. Dubai has a strong focus on virtual asset licensing, transparency, and consumer protection. So while it's all exciting, it is also structured. So just to sum this up, it really doesn't matter what country you're operating in. Everything you've learned in this compliance training today applies in one way, shape, or form in blockchain. While regulations may look a little different from region to region, the core principles are incredibly similar when it comes to selling a blockchain integrated product and services. Clear communication, no promises of financial profit, respect decentralization for what it is not centralized, and make sure you have responsible marketing procedures in place. These are universal requirements. If you stay grounded in those fundamentals, you'll be able to operate confidently and compliantly in this space, no matter where you are in the world. So what does all of this mean for you? Let's bring it down to something super simple. If you remember nothing else from today, remember these things. Do not promise passive income. Do not use hype language. Do clearly explain what someone is participating in. Do respect decentralization. And do follow privacy and sanctions laws. If you stay in that lane, you're in a really good place. And here's the exciting part. We are no longer fighting for legitimacy. Blockchain technology is becoming trusted. It's becoming integrated. It's becoming scalable. And you are part of that movement. That's a big deal. We will never grow and be adopted by the mainstream if we cut corners. We grow by doing things right, consistently, over a long period of time. I hope this course served as a helpful refresher and that you were able to take away something valuable. So let me leave you with this. Yes, the digital asset space is evolving. Yes, there are rules and way more clarity now. But those rules and guidelines are what will allow this industry to continue to expand, to partner with institutions, and to reach the mainstream. And that's where the real global impact happens. All right? You've got this. Stay clear. Stay compliant. Stay confident. Lastly, thanks for joining me today because I know your time is valuable. There will be a quick knowledge check just to make sure you are ready to hit the ground running. Now let's go out and use blockchain technology to do something that makes an impact and meaningful change in our world.